Hello, this is the first demonstration, a quick one, on how to download, import, and use our new custom command for the Google Sheet read and update. It's an advanced command. So once you go on our website and you download it, you will get two files. You will get the zip file, which is the custom command itself, which is to be imported into Artilla Studio, and then you have also a template that we use as a demo and learning for you. So these are the two files. I have already downloaded them into my download folder. And now what I will do is that I will go into the project panel, and I will first import. I will go to my download folder and import first the Artilla file, which is the template. And that also has instructions on top of the instructions that are on the web page. So now I will inspect this project, and let's read what we have put for you as instructions. So the first step in the instructions, and I will disable right here the selector so I can interact with the sheet here. So the first thing is to import the custom command into the new command custom tab. So how do we do that? It's right here at the bottom, right? So if I click new custom command, and now we have a new tab. If you install the 6.1 Artilla Studio version, there will be a new custom tab here that you need to click, and then you have an upload button. You see that I have already installed a bunch of custom commands. So you can just click upload and go to the folder where you downloaded the zip file about this custom command. You just select the zip file, you click open, and now it has added it right here. So now if I search here for sheet, it will pull. Yeah. And now just like a normal command, just that it's not in the official command tab, it's in the custom. You can search for it and then just select it and add the command. So if I had to add it anew, I would do that. So that's the first step. The command is installed. Now, before you start running this program and this automation, because it will not work immediately, you need to first make a copy of this Google Sheet. So this Google Sheet here is for you as an example. It's a springboard. So what you do is that you copy this Google Sheet URL and you go and you open it on your browser. Make sure that you're connected with a valid Google account. And what you need to do is that you need to copy this sheet by doing File, Make Copy. File, Make Copy. Okay, and I'm going to call it MHD Demo YouTube. Make a copy. And now I have a new sheet URL. You see here? This is my new sheet URL. And now that I have my new sheet URL, I go to the third part, which is I need to go to File, Share, and make sure that it's available for anyone with the link with editor mode. So that's where we do it here. File, Share, Share with others. Instead of restricted, I go to anyone with the link. And if I want to be able to write into the sheet, I need to make sure that I give editor rights to whomever has the link. So this point is done. Now what we need to do is that we need to copy this new URL of this Google Sheet and update it in our command, and also update it in our project settings as a starting URL. So this does the same. This URL is the same as the share URL. Now that I have made it editable, I can go back here to the project. I open, let's reload this. If I open the Google Sheet here, you will see that there is a spreadsheet or URL of the original sheet that I have used, but now I delete it and I put my new spreadsheet. There is a second place. If I go down here, when we are writing into some columns, I also need to come here and change the spreadsheet URL so that it will now read and write into my own new spreadsheet. So this does this point right here of copy the share link. Disable again the selector. We still have the line 11, which is copy the share link and update the project settings. So let me save what I did right now. And now I go back to the project list and I go to the project settings and I replace this very URL with my new URL, with my new Google Sheet. I save. And now you have your Google Sheet I mean, you have this automation working on your own Google Sheet with full rights. So this way, nobody can disturb our initial sheet. So now we can start. Sorry, still recovering from flu. Now we can start and we can look at what it does. So what it does, it's a very straightforward and interesting example, is that this automation will search for the keyword to do in column A, and will also search for urgent in column B. So if there is to do in column A and in column B there is urgent, both of them, and this is what I have set up right here. We will need to have this done. So when you look at it at the settings here, I updated my URL, and then it works by sections. I will come back to the Artila Prime section and explain what it does and how to use it, but make sure that the sheet name here is correct, that it is indeed the sheet name that you have here. Sometimes we change the sheet name. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you need to specify what kind of action you want the command to do. Right now, usually you start with getting the data. You want to read into the Google Sheet, because you want to read into the Google Sheet to identify these two conditions. Sorry. And this is the syntax. The syntax is that each line has to specify the column, and then double dot, and then the keyword that you want to look for in that column. So we want to get all the rows that have to do in column A, and because the operator that I choose, you can select between and or. In my case, I want to only focus on the rows that have both to do in column A and urgent in column B. And if this condition happens, then it will give me all the rows that correspond to this condition. So that's what it will do with the get data. And then you have to tell it what kind of data you want back. So Artila, this custom command, will go and find out that, okay, row 1 has to do and urgent in column A and B respectively. And what I want, sorry, what I want back to do my automation is that I want the data that is in column C, which is the name of the channel, and in column D, which is the URL of the YouTube channel. So column C, column D, I get both. And then also you can say that you want to look, when you're searching in the rows, you want a partial match or exact match. You want to be case sensitive or not case sensitive. This is the easiest way to go with it, exact match and not insensitive. And then there is some other parameters that we can demo later on, which is about creating the header and also writing data. So I will come back to this later. The first step is that we want to get the rows, we want to get the channel name and the channel URL for all the rows of data that have to do and urgent in their column A and B. That's the objective. Once we have that, what it does is that it will find that there is indeed 3 rows, and then it will put in a list here. You see, I'm feeding using the open bracket, the name of my custom command, close bracket. I am feeding into the list the results of the custom command. So technically this will be replaced by 3 lines, and each line will have the channel name, comma, the URL of that channel. So it will have T-Series, comma, the T-Series URL. Mr. Beast, comma, on the second line, Mr. Beast, comma, the URL of Mr. Beast channel. And then the third line about Cocomelon as a channel name, comma, the URL of Cocomelon YouTube channel. So now it will allow us to go through these results. And what I do is that I simply wait a little bit, and then I will go to the URL of each YouTube channel. And you can see here that now I'm feeding the list, which has been fed with the results from the Google Sheet. And I'm telling that from the current line of the current list, I want column 1, which is actually the second column, because we will get the data from column C, which is the name of the channel, but the URL of the channel is in column D, which is the second consecutive column, but in the CSV writing, it will be number 1. So I use list 1, it will pull the URL. and then I wait that the URL will load. And then what I do is that when I load the URL, and we can do that if I copy this, for example, I copy this and I go to the first YouTube URL. I'm going to grab two data, which is this two things that I want to scrap: the subscriber number and the number of videos. Sorry, that's what we want to do. So we will try to visit this. If not, I will visit it right here in a browser. And what I did is that I went and I clicked here. We have a course about this. We will do some more course. But if you inspect the code and I want to get the subscribers, I will notice that the subscriber here, 255 million, and the unique attribute that I can use is this ID equal subscriber count. And that's what I did. And for the number of videos, if I right click inspect, the best is to use this one here, ID equal videos count. This is what I did, and you can learn about CSS. And I created a DOM, I used a DOM command, and I fed it the ID. So I just put it in between rectangular brackets. I put the unique ID that gives me the subscriber count in a variable called DOM subscribers. And then I did another DOM variable called DOM videos. And then I put the ID equal video count in between rectangular brackets. So it will visit every YouTube channel page, grab these two information, and then I open again the Google Sheet. And now I'm going to my Google Sheet right here, and I am using a different mode now. Now I want to update the data, because I want to update the data in the column E and F of the respective row. So what I tell it is that I want first to find the row where I want to write. So I tell to this custom command, you're going to search in this column, which is column D, because I have the current URL. So column D has the URL. And there, find me the row that has the current URL from list 1. So that would be T-series URL. And then for that row, now the custom command will lock on that specific row thanks to this. Now that I located the row, I am moving down to update right in these columns, and the syntax is the same. So first, in column A of that row, I want to update from to do to done, so that my automation will not go again into this into this line, because it's already done. And that's how you manage your statuses, and you can do lead management or move tasks from one status to another. And it's basically like a CRM or like an ERP system that we are doing right here. So I will mark the column A as done for that current row. And then I will go into the E column and then double dot, and I'm going to feed the number of subscribers that we scraped. And then I will go to the column F right here, and I will feed the number of videos that we got with the DOM custom command. And that's it. That will update this live, and we will be seeing it. Once it does that, it will close the page. And then when we run it again, it will go to the next item that has to do and urgent. So that's what it does. I save, and let's give it a try. I close, and now let's run the project. So it's opening my Google Sheet, and as you can see, for now, everything is as to do. And now it's starting to do the reading query, and it's going to find and open the URL for which there is to do and urgent. The first one is T-series. So it should now open that URL in a new tab in the next few seconds. There it is. So it's opening the T-series as expected. And when it opens it, it waits a couple of seconds, and then it's going to grab the number of subscribers, and also grab the number of videos, save them in the respective DOM commands. Then it's going to close this. It's going to update the Google Sheet into the columns to mark it as done in column A, and then it did the job. So I should have added some wait time. But now if I go back to my Google Sheet, you can see that it has been updated. It is done, and it grabbed the number of subscribers, and then it grabbed the number of videos. So right now we're using the free version of this command. So I didn't put my Artila Prime license key, and I didn't put my Artila account email to unlock the premium features. So what are the premium features? The premium feature is that it makes this command faster and more scalable, because the free version of this command is pulling from a mutualized Google account. So it's good for a small volume for you to test and so on. But if you need dedicated resources and more capacity, that's where you can subscribe to the Prime Artila, which gives you access to all our Prime versions of all our commands and templates. So it's an overall subscription. And then it will go faster, because what it does is that we explain here, but the main thing is that when this Google Sheet does the query, when it's reading and getting the data, instead of finding only one row that complies with our search, it will actually find all the rows and keep all the rows into the same variable. And using that technique, it allows us in one go, the list will have the 3 lines, because when it's free, it will only feed to the list 1 line, and then you need to finish the project and run it again, or you need to create a loop and then a break loop conditional logic to run it 3 times, as many times as you have to do an urgent appearing in your Google Sheet. So it requires a little bit of additional work. But once you upgrade, and for example, I have here a my upgrade license key, so I'm going to use it here. Sorry again, and give you and show you the difference. So now I can put my Prime license key right here, and I put the email with which I ordered it. And now if I save this, and what I will do as well is that I will go back to Scratch. I will go back to change here to do. And now with the Prime, it will do the 3 lines in one go. So let me delete this as well. Okay, so now we start again with the Google Sheet like we started with. And now as a premium, in the premium mode, I'm going to launch it again. And instead of doing just one row at one time, it's going to do all the 3 rows in one automation. So it's going to find the first row. It's going to load the first page that has to do an urgent. As we did before, that's T series. Okay, there we go. Okay, a few seconds to grab the 2 DOM selectors, that DOM variables that we have used. It should have gotten them now. It's going to close the page. It's going to update the Google Sheet, and it's going to close the page. And then I put 3 seconds to wait for us to see. You see, it's done. I've got the subscriber. Now it's going to the next result without closing the automation, because we're using the premium mode, and the premium mode goes all the way through all the results, even if there is 1,000 results that have those statuses and that combination of statuses. It will process them in one go. So here is done. The second line is done. We move to the third one, and the third one also is being done. And it should be finished very soon. And now that there were only 3 results, the job is done. If I look at my Google Sheets on my browser, I got my results. The job is done. So now it will wait the next time I run it. If you guys add some new lines with to do, it will then just pick up and so on. So you can remove all these instructions and put as many lines as you want. You can also use this for price comparison. You can log a number of products and their URL and their current price, and then you can use the same approach and compare the price that is in the Google Sheet with the price that is in the DOM, in the HTML source code of the page, and then do a number of things. You can also do lead management. You can have a number of lines for each client with their email, Facebook, and so on. You can have statuses, contact them on social media, send an email, and then you can get multiple automations connecting, multiple RTL automation connecting to this Google Sheet and moving data around and making your automations. And you, as a manager, you just come and see the job being done from different ways. And this consumes no additional Zapier. Zapier is not needed. We're interacting directly with Google Apps. Sorry. And for those who need volume, reach out to us. First, you can use the Prime subscription to increase the capacity, but also, if needed, we can also duplicate this and have it run on your own dedicated Google account so that you have your own dedicated resources, so we can help you with that as well. So this is how it works. And now, because the status is already done for all three of them, if I launch it again, if I launch this automation, which can be launched on schedule, I can launch it every day, every hour, every week, whichever the schedule you want. It's going to go there and it's going to look for to do and urgent, but none of the lines have to do and urgent. So it's going to tell us that there is no results. You're going to see a notification. Sorry, I forgot to put the notification. So let me put that. That's a good practice to put an alert that can alert us on the status of the custom command. And the way to do it is very simple. Sorry. Is that I'm going to copy the name of the command. And here, even before starting, I'm going to launch a new alert command. Alert is really just displaying a message to the user. And here what we do is that even before we go to the URL, we're gonna show the results. Results, double dot, and then I'm gonna use open bracket, double open bracket. I paste my command name and I close bracket. So it will take the current value that we get from the Google Sheet, display it for us on our screen before even loading the URL, so that we know that it's done. So let's run it now. So like I was saying, it's not going to find anything that has to do and urgent. So it should tell us the custom command will feed back the value that there are no results. And it will show it in the alert. You see here, no matching rows found. So this tells you that there is no job to be done, and we could now close the automation. So that's how it works. I hope it makes sense. There is a lot of potential with this custom command, and we hope that you make the best use of it. Thank you, and we will see you in the next video.